Hey, this is Sully Burrows, and you're listening to Music Row.
Welcome to Music Row, a backstage pass to your favorite country artists. Here's your host, Leek.
Welcome back to the Music Row podcast, where we open your eyes and ears to new sounds in the world of country music. Or at least we just talk to people who are working in it. How's that? Thanks for all the love. Thanks for all the likes, the shares, the comments. Who do you want to see on the Music Row podcast? Let me know, and we'll try to make something happen. Getting constant calls from the publicists, from the PR agencies, from the labels, the managers. A lot of people want to be on the program. We're trying to make it happen, but we're a small ship in a giant sea of country. Sully Burrows is on this program, and to some of you, you're like, I think I've heard that name before, and then others are like, what? Which what? Sully is 19 years old. He recently was a finalist on SiriusXM's Top of the Country program, by the way, which I created. I know. He left school, graduates, and goes straight into country music. I like that approach. I like it wasn't a humming and hawing thing. Let's go get at it. And he's already got a couple songs that have cracked the top 20 in Canada. So good on him for that. We talk about the beginnings, which are, I think, going to be going on for the next 10 years. But there's something cool in this. He talks about his parents who were really supporting him at a young age and still do to this day. But I'll say this to anyone out there who wants to make it in life. Never mind country music. Never mind the music industry. If you want to make it, you're going to need support along the way. And if your parents are there, that is pretty awesome. Like, you got a leg up on a ton of people. So overall, I'm just going to throw out this blanket statement. Keep your parents. Don't get rid of them, because they could help you at some point in your career. Sully Burrows on the Music Row podcast.
Hi, my name is Kim Stockwood. I am a proud Newfoundlander and a Canadian singer-songwriter. In a landscape where many lack access to health benefits or employee assistance programs, the Unison Fund serves as a lifeline of hope for musicians and music industry professionals facing medical emergencies or mental health challenges. To learn more about Unison and their programs, please visit unisonfund.ca.
Hey, this is Sully Burrows, and you're listening to Music Row with Leek.
Sully, it's good to finally get the chance to sit down with you, because when you were in the SiriusXM Top of the Country thing, in which you ended up being a semifinalist in that, I had a bunch of people reach out to me saying, this guy's going to win. This guy is so good. He's so natural. And one of my buddies said, you won't believe his age, type of thing. So we moved past that. That's was that last year?
I think it was
2025?
2025. And it was actually around this time that we did the semifinal, like the video recording and in the studio. Yeah. And that was cool. And then like that whole process was great, getting to know some of the top 8 semifinalists, and then obviously getting to spend time with Nolene and Jake, who were the 2 other finalists. And it was great to get to know them. And, Sirius took us out for dinners when we were in Nashville together. And then obviously we had a bunch of stuff in
all the mentor sessions.
Yeah, the mentor sessions, and then being able to go to Lasso in Montreal as well, and then finishing it off in Kelowna. That was a lot of fun.
Was Lasso the biggest festival venue that you had played to date for you?
It was kind of crazy, actually, because we did Boots and Hearts the weekend before and then flew out to Montreal the next. So those 2 were like the biggest ones, and to have them back to back, that was a little nerve-wracking for sure, but to get the opportunity to do that was a lot of fun.
This is not a shot at Boots and Hearts. I think I've been there 15 years. If they've been around for 15 years, I bet you I've been there 15 years, 15 times. But the catering for artists at Lasso is unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm a big food guy. So, and I've been to a lot of festivals where the catering has all been good. Like Boots was great. And then Lasso, like with the artist world and everything, like that was really cool. And obviously the food was unreal. So that was just a kind of cherry on top to the whole
They got
festival.
Michelin rated chefs.
Oh yeah,
that are serving at Lasso. And this year you get to do Cavendish already. So like, this is crazy because only a few weeks ago you went across the country playing dates in the US and Canada with Jade Eagleson.
Yeah.
As soon as you get off that tour, you end up going out right away with High Valley and kind of doing almost the same run again. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like when I was out on the road with Jade, like that was a month-long tour, and like, you know, cross Canada and getting into different markets that I'd never been to, and even kind of dipping into the States a little bit too. Like that was a lot of fun, and you know, getting to make new fans, meet new people, play some pretty cool rooms, and that was a lot of fun, and getting to be on the bus with those guys and spend time with them and you know, joke around a little bit and get to know them was one of my favorite memories, is just like the bus time and hanging out with them. And but then, yeah, coming back home, like I had a couple weeks off. I was trying to get over a cold because the day after we finished the Jade tour, like I got sick. Naturally.
Perfect time.
Yeah.
That's the perfect time to get sick. Don't get sick when you're on tour.
Yeah, exactly. And everyone, like a lot of people were getting like colds and stuff, and I was surprised that I didn't get it. And then after we finished the tour, I got sick. But that was a good time. And then, yeah, I went to Nashville for a week and then came back and got back out on the road with High Valley.
So have you been doing lots of writing in Nashville?
Yeah, I try to go down there pretty frequently. You know, get to know people, kind of get my foot in the door there. And just like, it's great to meet new people, meet new writers, build a circle down there. And then when I'm not in Nashville, sometimes I'll write with people down there over Zoom or something. And then I've got people up in Canada who I'll write with as well.
I know an artist, his name is Riley Green.
Yeah.
And when he's doing writing with his partners, they just text each other, hey, I got this idea for a song. And I'm like, don't you guys talk about it on the phone or anything like that? Nah, we just kind of do it that way.
Yeah.
That is crazy how many different people have so many different approaches. What's your approach?
Yeah, so that's funny that you mentioned Riley Green, because he's one of my biggest influences and an artist that I definitely look up to. And you know,
and he's tall, so you can look up to him.
Yeah, I'm literally looking up to him. Yeah,
6'3".
And I've got to meet him a couple times, which is really cool. But yeah, so my process, like especially with some of the people from Canada, one of my really good buddies, Bradley Hale, like we do that. We'll just text each other and say, hey, I have this idea. And sometimes we'll text back and forth, just different verses and ideas. And sometimes I'll be like, hey, do you have tomorrow? And we'll hop on Zoom and finish the song. And then another writer, Jesse Slack, who lives in Nashville, I'll write, you know, a little bit of a song and send it to him. I'm like, do you have time to help me finish this song? So yeah, it's like, I think when you write with people enough and you build connections with certain people, you just kind of, that you get into a room or you get into a write with them and they know you and they know, you know, what kind of style you're looking for and what songs you want to write and what you're kind of looking for the next releases. So it's really easy to just kind of send them an idea or hop into a write and you're kind of underway.
I have some friends who they say that one of the worst things or the hardest things to overcome is your nerves going into a write when you're meeting new people, because it's like a speed dating thing. So it's great that you've kind of found your people. Yeah,
building that circle for sure. And yeah, I mean, there's been some writes. I've had some pretty great writes in Nashville, and I'll kind of I'll Google these people before, like when it's new writers, and I'll, you know, look at the songs that they've written and their big cuts. And then that makes my nerves even worse because it's like, oh man, this person has a song that Hardy recorded or Luke Bryan or these different artists. And you're like, oh my goodness, what am I getting into? But you know, everybody's really nice and, you know, everybody has the same common goal, is to come out with the best song possible.
So are you constantly kind of keeping a ledger of ideas?
Yeah.
So that you can just be at the ready. If you're stuck in a song, I got to go to page 5 of what I've written down, or it would be all on your phone, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I've got it all in either like voice memos, like I'll sit down and kind of play my guitar and mumble through what I think would sound good, or others are just on notes. Like I've got a ton of things on notes or Google Docs. Like I think I need to centralize it a little bit more, but yeah, I've got tons of ideas, and sometimes it's hard, like going into a week, like if I'm going down to Nashville to write, and especially getting off the road with Jade, like I didn't have much time to sit down and try and like form ideas or think about it. But then, you know, you have like a day and your mind kind of turns into writing mode, and you're like, okay, I'm going to look for this, and you're thinking about different ideas. And, you know, being out on the road, that's good because you can kind of look at different places or different experiences or different things that you can write about.
Yeah, it's for sure. You're always going to have a moment where nothing's coming to you. And then there's those other times where you've got a flood of ideas, but it might be 11 o'clock at night when you were just about to like shut
lay
your
down,
eyes for the day. And it's like, are you someone who can shut it down even though you got a great idea at 11 p.m.? Or do you have to finish that idea just so it's done with, so you don't forget?
Yeah, I think it's kind of a mix. It's definitely a mix for certain ideas, because sometimes I'll have an idea in my head and I can just write it down without playing the guitar. And others, you kind of just have to like, and you know, sometimes when it's late at night and if I'm not super tired, I'll try and write at least like a chorus or something. And other times I'll just, if the idea comes to my head, I'll put it in my notes and come back to it the next day.
It's dangerous too, because if you start jamming out a chorus or you've got this rough song idea and you start doing it late at night, you can actually energize yourself. Next thing you know, it's like 3 a.m.
in the morning, yeah.
And you've got this song that is kind of starting. I know that if it was me, I'd wake up the next morning probably 9 times out of 10 disappointed with the fact that I stayed up late to do this song, because the next day it sounds a little bit different.
Yeah.
You know?
It's funny because I've definitely gotten to the habit because sometimes my memory isn't great with certain songs or how they go. And as soon as I have something, I click record on my phone and voice memo, so then I can go back to it the next day and kind of figure that out. And sometimes it takes a little bit to get back to what it was. But yeah, I think that it's definitely, there's been a couple nights where I'll write a song and it's 2 a.m. and I'm still trying to finish this song but yeah, it's addicting for sure. Like you get into it, and once you're in it, you're in it. So
you grew up in a small town.
Mm-hmm.
It's a small town for 6 months of the year. Parry Sound. And I say 6 months of the year because it's winter, but then summer comes and the population explodes.
Yeah.
Probably 100,000 people are in.
Yeah. In the area at least. Yeah.
So you decide while in high school that your post high school thing is, I'm going to be an artist. Did you have any sort of trouble explaining that to people? Like, were people looking at you going, don't you want to do accounting? Don't you want to do this?
Yeah. It was interesting because, you know, the schools push post-secondary quite a bit.
Yeah.
And so I had school lined up, actually. I was supposed to go to Brock University for sport management. I worked really hard from grade like 10 to 12 because I knew it was either music or sports. And I was like, I'm going to go, you know, just give it a year and see, and try out school and see what that's like. And, you know, I talked to my parents because I was playing like 3-hour cover sets at different restaurants and bars and in Parry Sound, and I was doing
the Crown and Beaver.
Yeah. It was more like Boston Pizza and stuff, and like,
God bless the Boston Pizza. Those beers are so cold. Thank you, Boston Pizza.
Yeah, and it was really cool because I got started. There's a little restaurant in Muskoka, like in Rosso, called Crossroads, and that was the first ever cover set like gig that I did, and they you know, asked me to come back every Wednesday throughout the summer, and then I did that for a few summers. So I had a weekly thing there, and then I'd play different restaurants and bars around Parry Sound. And like you said, like it's hard to explain to people, you know, when I was still in high school, and you know, I was a little nervous. Like I used to post on my Instagram stories about where I'd be, and you know, it was a little strange because I didn't want to get made fun of kind of thing, you know, oh, I'm playing at Boston Pizza or I'm playing at different restaurants. And it was like that for me, like it was hard not to take it personally when people would take like little jabs and stuff. But then, you know, I talked to my parents about it, and then I met some really great people who are part of my management team now. And Pat Murphy, he runs Partners record label, and they've been really great with me, and they have helped me get to the next step, get to the next level of, you know, this is for real, you know, and it's fun because my friends, they'll reach out and they're like, oh man, you know, like you're doing really well. You got to play big festivals like Boots and Hearts and Lasso, and you get to go down to Nashville, and you know, the summers have filled up pretty quickly, and it's just been such a crazy thing to get used to because it all happened so fast. And, you know, I went from playing restaurants 2 years ago to getting to play different things, you know, in a year. And it was just a lot of fun, but definitely like, I think it was good for me to play those cover sets and kind of cut my teeth a little bit. And, you know, I'm excited to get to go back to Parry Sound and play a show there and end the run with High Valley there, because it's where it all started, and the support out of Parry Sound has been unreal.
You know, it's funny that you kind of get heckled a little bit or teased a little bit by pals, and I get it. You know, you're a high school guy, and shit, I'm out of high school and my friends still tease me about everything. But the importance of playing those bar gigs, like no one in the music industry is going to say, don't do it.
Yeah.
Like everyone says, do it, get on stage, learn how to play to that crowd. And that crowd, probably
5% of them are listening.
I would say every other Wednesday are just like, Sully, would you shut up? The Leafs game is on.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. Right. And it's so important to learn how to do that. So now when you are taking the stage in these other rooms, you've got that experience of, I know how to kind of handle this, and your expectations are, you know how it's just kind of gonna go.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's cool because, you know, you learn something new every day. You learn something. Well, I've been learning something new every day, which is my favorite part about this whole process, is that, you know, there's something new, or, you know, you're like, oh man, I messed up this song, but, you know, some people who have never heard it before don't know that. So sometimes it's hard not to get in your head, but, you know, you get used to different rooms. And if you're the opener or something and people are talking, you kind of just play your songs, you do your thing, you try to win them back. And, you know, I think it's been really good for me to play those different, like starting out there, to be able to learn and you know, adjust.
When did you start playing your music from Sully Burrows at Boston Pizza? Like you finally jumped that hurdle, or was it right off the bat?
So yeah, that's a good question, because my parents and grandparents and siblings would come out to most of them, because when I started playing, I couldn't drive. Like I was 14, so my parents would drive me everywhere, and it's funny because I used to just not talk. Like I would just play song after song after song. I wouldn't even say thank you after if people clapped, but because I was so nervous. Like that was so foreign to me. But then, you know, I got a little bit more comfortable, and you know, I'd introduce my songs a little bit. Like this is a song I wrote. Like I don't think I really started playing my own songs until like I was a year into playing the cover sets and kind of mixing in some of my own songs. But I was nervous to share those songs because I had just written them by myself. I was 14 years old. I was in grade 9. And it's like vulnerable. It's songs that kind of come from your heart, and you don't know what people are going to think of them. So I was a little nervous to do that, but I think I was around like 15 or 16 when I started throwing my own songs in there.
The nice thing about cover songs too, when you go do those sets and you're playing, like you said, 3 hours a night. So that's going to be 40 something songs that you're going to play. You learn not only 40 something songs, you learn how songs are crafted and how they roll, so you can apply that to your own songwriting.
Exactly.
It's like, yeah, don't take the same notes that Oasis used, but you understand where the bridge is going to come in, where the hook is going to be, and that helps you in your own songwriting. Yeah,
and it's funny because that you brought up Riley Green earlier, because, you know, when I first started getting into songwriting, like that was when, you Hardy's A Rock album came out, and the Dangerous Double album by Morgan Wallen, and then Riley Green, like I'd listened to him, I think since 2017, 2018. And, those are the guys that I looked up to and, that I tried to kind of model my songs after, and then be like playing those songs in the cover sets and then other songs in like different styles and different genres. Like, I had a mix of everything in there. You learn the writing pattern and everything from different songs. So that was really good for me too, I think, for the songwriting.
And being an artist too, at, a young age, you see things when you go see another band so differently than everybody else. You're the most critical judging eye probably in the crowd, because you're like, how did they pull that off? And how can I do that next time?
I think, I don't tend to like, I usually go into different concerts or festivals, like if I want to go see an artist and I'm kind of taking away things of what they did on stage and how they interacted with the crowd and how they, perform, because it's not just playing songs, you're putting on a performance. And for me, like, that's really good, because at the start, stage presence wasn't normal to me. It wasn't a natural thing, and I've learned a lot. And just
shouldn't be,
like
it really shouldn't be. Like it's like the biggest fear for probably 90% of the people in the world to be standing on stage
in front of people. Yeah,
and here you are, you're bringing out a guitar. Your friends, like you said, they were like, "You're gonna go play at Boston Pizza? Like, what the hell's going on with you?" But you knew it's something I can do, and go take it to the stage. So you're learning now how you can present a little bit more, because you're watching what
other big artists do.
High Valley's doing, or Jade is doing.
Yeah, and I like, that was the best part, because I got to see Jade's show 14 nights and got to see, what they do on stage and what their band does and what he does, and taking those notes and taking those things and not like fully copying, but finding a way to make that my own, and how to like put that into my set and put that into my live show.
Then there's the other part of being an artist, and that is the whole side of promoting yourself on social. I love where we're going already with this. Sully Burrows on all of the social things, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. He's got the same account for them all, same name, but that's a challenge, isn't it?
Yeah, like, big time. I don't want to say anything that's going to get me in trouble, but
like, do you find yourself, you're like more vulnerable putting stuff out on social media than you are when you go out and you play that 10-song set?
Big time, because like it's I get nervous when I go out to play shows, and but as soon as I go up there and play my guitar, my mind kind of shuts off, and it's all muscle memory, and it's becoming more of a natural thing. But with social media, like, with different posts and like, with the reels and all that stuff that goes up, it's hard not to second guess yourself, because I didn't grow up like always on my phone. I wasn't the type of person to pull my phone out and, this is what I'm doing kind of thing. So it's been a learning process.
Sully Burrows just checked in at Boston Pizza.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like it's been such a learning process, and that's the thing of learning something new every day, and what works and what doesn't, and what you think is going to work, but it doesn't, and then the thing that you don't think is going to work works. So it's like, it's really tough to kind of figure that out, and social media is such a tricky thing.
Yeah.
And it's hard because I know people want to see, what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, not just your shows and stuff. So it's been trying to like mix between the shows and then, what's going on. And for me, it's been a really tricky thing.
Yeah. What does Sully Burrows want to share, and how does it stay in a lane that is comfortable for you? Because I have a friend who's, does great, and, his thing with social is you got to be willing to humiliate yourself, and then you get over it real fast. But there's still a point about being in a certain lane. I know one guy who's struggling with it. He's very successful. And I said, you got a chicken coop. Just go grab those eggs every morning and just film it. I guarantee that'll be a lane that people will love.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's so difficult for me. And I know, it's just like, we've had so many conversations. Like I think we were just talking about it today, like with my team, and it's like what works? Like how are we going to make this work? And like, you have your, the playback clips of like, you performing the song. Like we actually are going to post one that we did here today, and we've done that a couple times. But yeah, it's like, it's, stories are fun because, they're 24 hours and
then they're gone.
And then they're gone. And I like I'll sit down and record a couple like acoustic videos and I really enjoy doing that. And especially like if it's a song that I just wrote and I'm like, oh man, like this is awesome. I want to share this. Or like even a cover that I've been listening to, like I've gotten used to that. It's the one thing that I've struggled with is pulling my phone out and saying like, hey, I'm going to be playing here, whatever, and
absolutely.
And that thing. But it's part of the job. It's part of it. And I'm definitely a lot better and liking it a lot more than I was at the start.
Well, and then there's the other side too, where I was talking with an artist just the other day, Jess Moskaluk, and she's saying, she's won, I don't know, say a dozen CCMA awards, a Juno award, got all this stuff, just like everybody else. Doesn't like doing social media, does it because she knows it's part of the gig. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, as much as it's a 35-second clip, it takes hours in some cases.
Yeah, there's been some stuff that I was sitting at home, and it's hard to do it by yourself because you're setting your phone up, and then you're walking all the way over, and then you're tuning your guitar and
the audio
and playing,
right?
and it's matching the audio and stuff. And like you said, it's a 35-second clip, but you spend 3 hours in a day trying to record these videos that just get chopped up. So
what do you do that for?
Yeah,
not necessary.
No.
All right, let's wrap. You got Cavendish coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Are you back in the studios hoping to release a full length by the end of the year, or what's Sully got going on?
Yeah, so we've been, I've been in the studio quite a bit. Put It On Me just came out a couple weeks ago, and I was really excited about that song. Yeah, thank you.
And getting lots of attention too.
Yes, yeah, it's been great. Like I've been really excited about that song. Like we've been sitting on it for almost a year, and when I wrote it, I was like, oh yeah, this is a good song. And so being able to record that song, and we played it live throughout the summer and into the fall, and in the shows that we've played this year, and people have been excited about it. So for it to finally be out, like that's a great feeling.
There's two parts, right? You've got it got out and people are playing it, whether it's on a service or if it's a radio station, it's getting played. That's good. Mm-hmm. But then you get to see the reaction of the song when you're playing it live,
yeah.
And you get to see how people are consuming it.
Yeah. And like that was the thing too with Rally Around. Sorry to go off topic here, but with Rally Around, like we first released it at the start of baseball season, and then radio stations picked it up, and it got a lot of love on all the streaming platforms, and sync placements and everything. And it was cool to see like throughout the year since we released it, the more and more people who sang the words to the song and knew the song when it came on and got excited about it. And that was one of the coolest feelings for me because it's a song that I've written, and for people to sing the words to that song, I never expected that. But like, yeah, with the songs that we've been recording in the studio and stuff, I'm really excited about. We've got, I think, 3 more singles lined up, and I think we'll have another project at some point, whether it's late 2026 or early 2027.
Thanks for doing this, man. I really appreciate it, and have fun on these tour dates that are coming up. I'll go check you out at a few.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm glad we can make this work.
Follow Music Row on X at Music Row Country, on Instagram at Music Row Official. Music Row is produced by Shed of Dreams.